My first experience with the Academy was a one-day workshop, and I made such a profound shift in that one day that I knew I would work with her. Working with Emily this week has been profound and amazing, and the way she presents it, if you listen, it...
Oh, if you are ready to dive deep into your own personal transformation, you're in the right place. I'm happy you're here. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 7-3 episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. Please say hello to me once you get here. We are going to jam together in our Akashic Records for the next 40-50 minutes or so. First of all, let me just thank you all for being here. You're such a huge part of the show. The Akashic Records work specifically by asking questions, and that's my humble mission, is to answer questions for you all today, to channel for you from the Akashic Records. The Akashic Records, if you are new to this technology, it's truly a spiritual technology. This is the realm of consciousness that holds all information, past, present, all possible futures, and is recorded from a neutral perspective. It is a quantum library, an etheric library of information. We could also look at it as the God mind. It is all possibility. And once we learn that we can tap into this realm of consciousness, what's up, Cindy? Life starts to get really interesting. So here's the deal, and here's why I personally love the Akashic Records and made it my mission to help humanity remember that we all have access to this technology, is because every single thing that we are experiencing here on the planet, everything that you are experiencing, Miss Cindy, say hi like Cindy, be like Cindy, y'all, say hi from Ontario. All right, Cindy, me, every single one of you who is here, we are all creating the circumstances that we are experiencing in our life. And some of those circumstances that Shelly's a creator too. I'm glad you're here, Shelly. Some of these circumstances that we created are awesome. Anybody manifested something great in your life, something that you are excited about, something that lights you up? Yes, we are creators. How many of you have manifested some oopsies along the way? We manifest sickness, we manifest lack, we manifest narcissistic relationships, all for the point of soul learning and growth. Okay? Now, before I realized that everything was a lesson, I was stumbling through my life going, WTF? Like, I didn't get it. All right, so that was the first wake-up call for me, was the recognition of, oh, everything is a lesson for me to learn. I'm creating it. Now let me understand more dynamically how and why I'm creating it, because I'm creating things that I don't necessarily want. Can anybody relate? Send some love likes hearts across the screen. All right. The cool thing about incarnating here to a physical planet like Earth is that we get to experience ourselves as creators. Yes, there's duality, there's light and dark, there's polarity. It's navigating, I should say, it's a challenging school to navigate. But we come here for learning, for soul evolution and growth. And every single one of us who are on the planet right now are participating in a bigger mission of evolution and growth. Because we're not doing it just on an individual level right now. Actually, that's where the work is done. We are doing the work on an individual level. We're also working as a collective to bring about the new Earth, because there are a whole bunch of constructs on this planet that are not in alignment with the divine potential blueprint of the human, which is for all of us to live in peace, love, prosperity, joy, collaboration. And it's a time when the old constructs that represent the Maya, the illusion, the matrix, those are crumbling, and we're reestablishing a new Earth. All right, so every single one of you who are here are participating in that. Send some love likes hearts across the screen. Who knows about the prophecy of the Rainbow Warriors of the Light? This is the beautiful Native American Hopi Indian prophecy that shows up in other lineages as well. I'm very inspired by this right now because the rainbow warriors of light, this is you, this is me. We are souls who are reincarnating with ancient wisdom, ancient intelligence that it's our job to unlock within ourselves and make the changes in our own life to bring our energy, our patterns, our lack, our where else are we operating outside of the divine blueprint? Okay, to bring our energy under our full authority to create. And in order to do that, we have to examine our energy patterns because humans, we're such natural creators. We're doing it effortlessly and naturally in every moment. Can you tap into the truth that you are creating your future right now in this moment? Let me know in the comments. I'll pause now and just say a special thank you. Anybody out there who joined me on Coast to Coast Radio in the middle of the night this weekend? Thank you for joining me. Let me know in the comments if you were there at that interview. Perhaps you are an audience member here at the Akashic Academy and you knew I was doing that interview, so you set your alarm and you got up. Thank you. Or maybe you caught me for the first time on that interview and you're joining us now at the Akashic Academy, but I would like to know. All right. Yes, I think I was going off on how we incarnate here in order to experience ourselves as creators. And that's what the Akashic Records helps us do. It helps us to activate our innate intelligence so that we can understand more dynamically behind the scenes how we're creating what we're creating and where we get to make adjustments. So if you want your life to look different, you got to make course corrections within yourself. It's going to start with how you think about things. You got to think about things differently. So anything in your life that you want to change, whether it's your finances, whether it's your job, whether it's your relationship to self, your relationship to others, we got to start by thinking about things differently. All right. So let's see. Oh, yes. I think I wanted to share with you guys some of the breakthroughs that once we tap into this ancient intelligence within us and we can start to get this behind the scenes information of what we're missing, life starts to get really good and exciting, and we can have breakthroughs in areas where we have felt hindered for sometimes decades. Okay, I have personally used it for myself. I came into this incarnation with a lot of challenges around finances and feeling safe in my finances. So I have what I call accordion finances for a long time in my life, where I would have a lot and then I have a little, then I have a lot, and then I have a little. And I went through a long time where I had mostly a little. I was on food stamps for a long time. And then I figured it out. All right. I figured out the dynamics to it. One, we have to learn how to source and resource from within, which is an energy thing. It doesn't have anything to do with what you're doing in the outside world. All right. But once I figured out how to do this from the Akashic Records, and more importantly, where my soul had trauma and I didn't feel comfortable giving myself all of the love, all of the validation that I needed. Can you relate? Anybody out there have trouble giving yourself all the love and the validation and the cheerleading that you need? Yes. Sometimes, yeah, we need some tough love. Most of the time, we need some compassion with ourselves. All right. And if you are out of alignment within yourself and your own energy, like I was, you're going to have a really hard time sourcing and resourcing from within. So I had to understand my childhood patterns that were playing out. And then once you see things, it's really, really simple to heal and shift in the records. We're going to do some of that for y'all today. Here's the cool thing, though. Once you shift, you can experience radical breakthrough like I did. I went from being on food stamps. One of my girlfriends who's great in marketing, Rosalind Fung, said she went from food stamps to fortune. It's true. In 8 months, I quintupled my income. Okay. My son, Jack, had a very horrific injury where he almost lost his right foot. The doctor said that it would be 3 years before he walked again. And through the help of the quantum field, the Akashic Records, he was walking again in 3 months. I have multiple clients and students who have gone into cancer remission, who have alleviated autoimmune symptoms, who have changed careers. And changing careers can be a challenging thing. I'm not going to, if you're being called to do it, you know you're being called. I'll just say that. All right. I'm definitely not pushing anyone in that direction, but there are definitely a lot of shifts and changes, a lot of timelines that are unstable right now. And a lot of you are healers, you're wisdom keepers, you are these rainbow warriors of the light. You've got this wisdom within you. But fear and playing big can hold us back from taking those steps. And you can experience radical shift that will help you break through. Like I have clients who they were afraid to make changes in their career because they've invested a whole lot of time and a whole lot of money. And there's also family lineage. They're not the first practicing physician in their family or the first practicing lawyer in their family. There's a lineage, and it can be challenging to make the shifts and changes. If you're ready, you can have experiences like Laura, who created a $70,000 launch going from established clinical practice to setting up her own practice with her clients in the Akashic Records. All right, so we're going to play together today and get y'all some of these results like this. Here's the cool thing that I want you to know. Well, now I'm remembering I've said it a bunch of times. So I guess the guides really want you to know. You can do this too. Every single person has the ability to tap into their innate intelligence, your Akashic Records, and ask questions, get instantaneous wisdom, guidance, and clarity about your life from a completely different perspective than what we're experiencing right now. Okay? All right, so let's get started. I'm not only going to channel from the Akashic Records for y'all today, we're also going to bring through transmissions that will begin to shift and change us on a cellular level. Let's see, I wanted to tell you one more thing too. Oh, thank you, Carrie. I love you. Yes. Stick around to the end. We've got something new coming up. Just like a quick little announcement. I'm bringing back my Akashic Records Masterclass, The Path of Remembrance, for those of you who are part of the Rainbow Warriors of the Light, and you are ready to remember your truth, your purpose here on the planet. I'm going to let you know how you can score an initiation interview because space is limited there. All right. I also am going to share with you guys what kinds of questions are good to ask here. Okay. So here are some great questions that you can ask in your Akashic Records. What karmic patterns am I ready to heal and release? How can I gain clarity on the next steps of my journey? It's the next step in my soul's evolution. Those are kind of the same now that I'm looking at it. What is the root cause of an illness? Those are great things to look at in the records. What lesson does my soul need to learn about XYZ in order to move on? Anybody who's stuck, this is your question. You want to fill in that XYZ as specifically as you can. All right. And we're going to, I got a really good one here for you guys too. Cindy says she wants to hear more about the Rainbow Warrior. Awesome. All right. I'm going to get to some questions, Cindy, and then I will definitely come back and talk to you a little bit more about that. Since I don't see questions from the audience, I'm looking. Oh, here is Sweet Farish has a question from the audience. I have a question myself that I'm going to answer for y'all today. Okay. Sweet Farish says, hi, what do my Akashic Records have to say about my future career, please? I haven't worked in over a year as I am recovering from autoimmune disease. All right. Let me tap in, Sweet Farish, and see what the guides want to have, what the guides have to say. The guides are saying it's time for you. That it's time for you to start thinking about how you want to serve the planet. They're not encouraging you to think about job in a traditional way, similar to how I said before. I'm like, I'm not encouraging anybody. You have to find it within yourself. All right. I do love the path of, hello, Lisa. I do love the path for myself of making up my own job and learn and how to share my gifts and skills with the planet, my medicine with the planet. If you feel like that is you too, first of all, I'm just going to send through a transmission. Here's the deal. We have to self-initiate into that, which means we have to agree. There's no number of people that can tell you that you should be, you're so good at X, Y, Z. You should think about this, or, have you thought about that? No number of people that can tell you for you to fully receive the call. We have to self-initiate. We have to open up our heart and say, yes, I'm ready. Okay. How many of you out there are feeling the call to understand yourself better so that you can know how to serve the planet? Let me know. Okay. The guides are going to bring through a transmission right now through the heart space to help you open your heart to receive the transmissions that are coming through. And your job is to get as soft as you can, as relaxed as you can within your body so that you can allow this. Allow these transmissions to come in. Okay. This is opening us to heart wisdom so that we can understand ourselves more dynamically. We can see ourselves through the eyes of the heart mind. Okay, and now the guides are moving down into the solar plexus and giving us courage to know the truth. Okay, and this frequency, this transmission that's coming in right now, as this is for everybody out there now, as you contemplate your future, seeing yourself and how you get to show up and serve your family and the planet in your highest potential. Remember this vibrational frequency that's coming in today and ask your guides to help you perceive from this channel, to see what is possible through this channel. We've got a powerful energy transmission moving here today. This is the power of possibility. Let this frequency encode your cells, everyone, so that you will vibrate to an even stronger, more potent frequency of possibility. Okay, this brings more possibilities into the field. Anybody else buzzing like crazy out there right now? Don't settle right now. In thinking about creating our identity, do not settle. Meaning, let yourself be full of passion, of childlike awe and wonderment into opening yourself to see what is possible. And when the guys are saying, when crazy ideas come in, your job is to say, good job. Not to be like, where did that come from? Well, it came from right here. This portal that we're opening up, this portal of possibility. You don't want to shut it down. Okay? Make sense? All right. So this is going to start bringing in, the guides are saying, expansively creative ideas. Your job is to, when you notice these ideas coming in, not to shut them down. You got to tell yourself, good job. Not, where did that come from? That's crazy. Okay. All right. Good stuff. Let's send some love, likes, hearts across the screen for Sweet Farish. And anybody who wants to shift a job, change your service, the way that you serve the planet, this activation is for you. All right. I see some questions coming in. I love this. I did mention I was going to answer my own question because here's what happened on Coast to Coast, y'all. Joe, if you're out there watching, let me know. Oh, I answered probably 22 to 25. Some of the names were too scribbled. I couldn't read them, but I wrote everybody's name down on my scribble paper here as I was taking the interview questions within probably 50 minutes. So that's a couple minutes per reading. They were just like rapid fire, right? Joe asked an awesome 3-parter question. And in the moment, I could only remember part B and C of Joe's question when she asked about karma, and he asked about reincarnation. And the guides had some insight to share about karma and reincarnation. The first part of Joe's question, the A part of the question, there was A, B, and C. It's a three-parter. The A part of Joe's question, I realized later, it's almost like I woke up out of a dead sleep. I was like, shit. That might be the most important question. All right, how do we exit the matrix? So here's the deal on the matrix. The matrix is the Maya, the illusion. It is a construct. It is a fear-based construct, okay, that we take down by not plugging into it. So we got to start dismantling our own fear construct. And start small. Fear of being fully self-expressed is one that the guides are mentioning right now. You need to breathe and embody yourself more. So the guides are saying, let's breathe together right now and just embody ourselves more. When you're fully self-expressed, let me tell you something. You come completely programmed with intelligence on how to get out of the matrix. It's all within you. You just got to slow down enough so you can access it. Because when we're moving too fast and we're caught up in the stress of life and the fear of not being good enough and not being fully expressed in who we are, we lose our power. That's where we become disempowered. And that's where the matrix starts to look very real. It's not actually real, though. And how we exit it is we see through the illusion. And we do that by basically changing ourselves from the inside out. All right. So the more patterns that you can perceive, for example, fear patterns, the more you're going to be able to identify them and be like, oh, that's my fear pattern. I'm not going to play into that. I'm not going to show up for that. I'm going to choose differently. One of my favorite ways to start actually seeing things differently is to quite literally train a different part of your eyes. Okay, yes, we're talking symbolically and metaphorically and how you get to see differently, quantumly, how you get to see differently. Although your physical body is a technology that's connected into all of those different causal planes, into all those subdimensional layers of reality. So by actually training our physical body with intention, we can open up our sight into the multidimensional field. Say yes if this makes sense, because your physical body is connected to the multidimensional field. Just the majority of your consciousness and energy is showing up and representing in the physical plane. But you connected to all the multidimensional planes, okay? You're connected through to all these multidimensional planes through your DNA. And the more strands of your DNA that you can activate, the more you will be aware of this multidimensional connection that you have. Okay? The guys want to bring through a DNA activation right now so you can perceive more of your connection to what's all around you. And once you're aware of more of your connection, unity consciousness, we definitely have more command and more control of our energy. So like I talked about, bringing your energy under your own authority will get easier for you as you do the work, okay? As you recognize that you're connected to everything that's around you. So unity consciousness coming through right now. Ooh, that's a good one. Okay. There's one more piece about exiting the matrix that the guides wanted to share. I feel like it was an activation they wanted to bring in. Oh, yes. They wanted me to teach you about how to train the body, how to train the eyes. So training our peripheral vision can not only help us see into the multidimensional layers of reality that are happening all around us here in the physical world, but it also is going to help you think differently, to perceive your life differently, okay, through different aspects of perception. I feel like I said that word a whole bunch of times. Let me just show you how to do the exercise. All right, so you put your hands out in front of you, all right, and then gaze with soft eyes over the tips of your fingers. So soft eyes is like you're squinting a little bit, right? So soft eyes over the tips of those fingers. And then I want to bump my mic. I'm gonna keep my gaze forward, but I'm gonna move my hands to where they're in the peripheral and adjust where they're just in the peripheral, for both sides. And then I'm simply just going to wiggle my hands up and down, exercising my peripheral muscles, learning how to see through my peripheral. Here's why that's cool for those of you who, well, I guess all of our DNA is activating because we just did that activation. So here's the deal. As your DNA activates, you're going to have access to more of your perception, which includes your psychic senses. All right. For the majority of us, our psychic senses are happening within our inner awareness. Your psychic senses are the same as your intuitive senses. I'm going to pull up a training for y'all right now and I give this to you. Okay, so for those of you who want to train and activate your psychic senses, this is how you can do it. This free Jedi training right here will teach you how to activate those psychic senses in 15 seconds a day. But for the majority of our psychic senses, they're happening in our inner world. They're happening in our imagination. We are, though, as our DNA activates, we are having more and more visceral experiences where we perceive in the 3D world. So you see things, you see shadows, you see lights out of the corner of your eyes. Anybody see that? Type yes in the comments for me if you're noticing things in your peripheral. But have you also noticed what happens? As soon as you see something in your peripheral, we turn our head to look and see what it is. And then our scope of vision changes. Because then the convex concave nature of the eyes, it creates a different refraction of light in our peripheral so that we can actually see into different dimensions. The challenge is, right, we turn our head and then we lose track of what we're seeing in our peripheral. So as you train your peripheral, you'll be able to track things in your peripheral. And I also notice that when I'm UFO watching, which I do almost every single night, my peripheral vision is usually what catches the motion of the ships. That's where I see them first, is in my peripheral. Okay. All right. So just some important tips on how to exit the matrix. It's really all about perception. And you can do physical exercises that are going to help increase your perception, increase your ability to see the hidden patterns. That's what this training is all about. So check it out. All right. Let's get some more questions here. All right. Carrie says, I would love to know what I'm missing in order to tame the chaos and bring forth my service-oriented startup in the world. All right. Well, the first thing is the chaos. Chaos is part of shift and change. Okay. We can experience it without having to let it run our energy vibrational frequency or become our energy signature. We want to learn to feel peace within the chaos. Okay, we want to be the center of everything, peace within the chaos. We're going to bring ourselves into ultimate center, the guides are saying, through this. Okay, and here's what the guides are saying to do. In order to do this, they want us to pull up the chaos. Think about the most chaotic things that are happening in your life, in your world right now. The things that you are the most entangled in, which, by the way, I just had a mom conversation with my dear friend, Grace Van Bodie. I love you, Grace, about the entanglement of moms getting wrapped up in what our kids are experiencing. And my kids, like, I'm in a new phase of momhood where I've released my kids like out there to the world, and holy crap, oh my gosh. It's very easy for me to get entangled into what they're experiencing. So I'm learning to find that peace within my own chaos. And so what the guides are saying is, first of all, are we able to notice where we're creating the chaos or we're playing into it? And I can see just by, like, the more I acknowledge it, the more I get connected to it. It's like a magnet. I instantly get sucked in. Okay, so the guides are saying rather than acknowledge, see if you can observe and see if you can notice if a difference between the energy of acknowledging something and the energy of observing something. Okay, the guides are bringing through some powerful training for all of you too. This is a very nuanced difference of a frequency. Okay, and anytime we're working with high level nuance, it's master level work. So high five. It's good stuff. But let me know if you guys can see and detect and notice that difference between observing something and acknowledging something. Okay, and I have a feeling some of you guys are getting some good downloads from the record. So I would love to know how the guides are interpreting it for you in your own field right now as we're working together here in this sacred container of observing. And as you, Carrie says, yes, good. So as we toggle back and forth between those different energy frequencies, if you want to let something pass through you and you don't want to get so attached to it, observe it, dial back, observe it. Okay. If you want to start dancing and engaging with energy, because it's going to grow as soon as you do. So make sure you're only dancing where you want to be dancing. Does that make sense? You guys follow my analogy here? That's the moment where you lean in and acknowledge. Yes. Okay. I see. So, ooh, my third eye just went nutties. Nutty nuts there. Okay. All right. Good stuff. Let's send some love likes, hearts across the screen. Good. I'm glad you guys are loving this. All right. Miss Inner Light. What karmic patterns am I ready to heal and release during eclipse season? Go. Okay. Let's talk about eclipse season for a second. You see me get all excited? Since I was a kid, I have loved eclipses, anything space, when the comets come by. I love it. Oh, Three-Eye Atlas is something fun we can talk about. Let me know if you know about Three-Eye Atlas and you want to talk more about that. And I did say I was going to talk more about the Rainbow Warriors. Let me just make myself some notes here. Rainbow Warriors. All right. All right, so back to what karmic patterns to release during the eclipse. Inner Light. I'm looking for your comment here. 1 second. Ooh, Golden Ratio. You have a good question here too. Thank you guys for being patient while I'm scrolling. Okay, there we go. Inner Light. What karmic patterns am I ready to heal and release during eclipse season? Let me just tap in for you. Okay, so the guides want to bring awareness to authenticity and being fully self-expressed. And for each one of us, in order to be fully self-expressed, we got to collect the parts of ourself that we've disowned. Which, by the way, those disowned parts of yourself, they're not sitting waiting for you to come pick them back up and collect them back in. They're wreaking havoc in our lives. It's our shadow work, right? That's our shadow. And the shadow doesn't wait patiently for us to come pick it back up and reintegrate it into the soul. All right. So anybody who's got a little bit of shadow work to do right now, we're going to do some shadow work. We're going to reintegrate pieces of ourself that we have disowned. All right. So I'm going to have the guides. This is a collective exercise that we can be doing here together. Thank you, Inner Light, for bringing us into areas where we've disowned parts of ourselves. Okay. Disowned desires. And I'm pretty sure these are PG desires, guys. I'm not getting any kind of crazy pulses in my body. Okay. Let's don't go there yet. Definitely we're not working with any kind of sexual desires here live on the air. So y'all sexual energy, that's too powerful. We're not going to start transmuting that here. We can release areas where we have sexual pain and sexual trauma. But in terms of using your sexual energy and repressed sexual desires, that gets into sexual alchemy. And that kind of energy, when you start playing with that kind of energy, it's very, very easy to be manipulated and distorted. It's powerful energy. I honor those of you who are curious about it. I love it too. I'm super curious and have trained on it extensively, not only trained myself, but trained others on it extensively as well. That's why I'm saying be careful with that. All right. Let's talk about more of, let's keep it a family show for the sake of today. All right. Let's think about these very wholesome desires that we have. Your sexual desires are important too. And so we're going to work with our very wholesome desires today. Okay. Our lunch hour desires. Actually, I just got to stop. Never mind. Got some feisty ones out there. I'm looking to get some on your lunch break. Okay. Now, our wholesome desires. What do we want for our life? Maybe it is more feistiness and more fun. Maybe it's there's a desire within you to buck the status quo. Maybe there's a desire in you to be so fully self-expressed that your irreverence can be received and embraced. Hopefully I lead the way for y'all to play like that in here. All right. Self-expression. Where do you have desires to be more self-expressed in your life? Okay. Where do you have desires for more wholesomeness in your life? Maybe more wholesome food. And wholesome means a place where you feel whole and complete, where you don't feel like any part of you has to be disowned. What kind of family do you want to come home to? Or maybe stay home with? How much do you really want to laugh in your life? Like this is the level of creation that we're being invited to go back to as we're calling forward these codes of the new earth. Okay. I'm going to talk about the rainbow warriors here again in just a moment. We're calling in a powerful transmission. I want everybody to imagine that you're connecting in with the new earth right now. So we're building it. Actually, we're building it right here together. That's what I'm realizing. Playfulness is a huge part of the new earth. Okay. Where do you want more for yourself? Connect into the new earth. Right now, we're creating a bridge. Creating that bridge. Bringing those transmissions of the new earth here right now. For the 5D earth is all around us. We just have to see it. That's how we consecrate it. That's how we bring it into being. Good job. I'm doing a good job right now. Okay. Okay, nice deep breath in. Exhale. I feel like that transmission is complete for now. So I'm going to dive back into some questions here. You guys hear that bird squeaking outside my house? All right. Shelly Jones, what is the most important thing I need to know about my soul's path right now? And then I'm also, I wanted to get back to, thanks for being patient, guys, while I'm scrolling here. Golden ratio. You have a good question too. Okay. We're going to do both of these. Both of these questions. All right. So going to, why do I do this? Why do I click around like this? Sorry, guys. Sometimes I'm live and my brain is go here, go here, go here. Anybody else have any, what do they call that? ADD? I've never been diagnosed with ADD, although I did notice the other day that I had in my good hand. I'm literally about to put a tray of granola into the oven that I'm cooking when I think I need to go change the laundry. And I almost pulled the tray of granola out and set it down to go change the laundry. And I thought, what am I freaking doing? All right. Take time and breathe, everybody. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Those are the codes coming in. Breathe, breathe, breathe. All right. Shelly Jones. It's the most important thing I need to know about my soul's path right now. Pretty sure this was your question. I am going to tap in. Okay. What the guides are saying for every single person right now, joy, we've got to follow our joy. Joy is the navigational system. We got to be asking ourselves every single day, what would feel so joyful for me to do today? Okay. That is the navigational system. The other thing that the guides would love everybody to know right now is that timelines are really unstable. Shifts, changes, sometimes drastic ones are happening right now. I'm seeing it happen in my life. I see it with my kids. I see it with my clients in a variety of different ways. So the timelines are fluctuating right now. They're shifting and changing. The timelines are going to anchor into more stability. The guides are saying end of this week and next week, we're going to experience anchoring into more stability. But right now, things do feel like, is anybody else noticing that? We're traveling through timelines very, very quickly. Okay. The guides are also saying that there is an important up level happening within our energetic body. So like we talked about our DNA earlier and how our DNA activates. And as our DNA activates, we have access to more of our power. As we are fluctuating through these timelines, we're actually gaining the ability to move more fluidly forward and backward through time, to not be so attached to density, to not be so attached. Make sense? There we go. You probably could have said that 30 seconds ago. All right. So that's important things to know right now is that we've got to follow our joy. And yes, timelines are very fluid right now because we're learning collective energies around detachment. And we're also, it's like changing our energetic physiology, our light body physiology, so that we can move more fluidly through dimensions and timelines. Sounds exciting. Okay. Golden ratio and beyond. Blessings, Emily. Thank you. Blessings to you too. What next step would serve the highest good in the following areas? My career, sister's decision of whether to move, and mother's health treatment. What steps was, well, full session might be good for you next steps, golden ratio. Okay. So for anybody does anybody else feel like you got a list of some questions that you need to ask the Akashic Records? Okay. This feels like a perfect time to share with you all a little bit more about the training, because if you got a lot of questions right now in your life, good. Asking questions and the nature of our questions can actually measure our consciousness. The questions that we're asking reveals the frequency of our consciousness or what direction we're thinking and growing in our life. So questions are good. I'm glad you guys have lots of questions. I've got lots of questions too. Most of us have been taught to shut down our questions when we were young. But truly, the child within you, the curious soul within you, can tap in and get intelligence, can ask questions for days and days and days. So for those of you who are ready to wake up your innate intelligence, specifically, if you feel like you are part of this rainbow warriors of the light, okay, that means that your soul has incarnated into the ancient lineages here on the planet, the ancient wisdom lineages. If you remember the song, Jesus Loves Little Children, red and yellow, black and white. It's all of them but the whiteies, guys. Okay. That's the ancient lineage, the indigenous wisdoms. They come through our ancient cultures. Okay. And incarnating now in the now moments here on the planet. Bringing this intelligence back. And for those of you who feel like your soul has walked in these other lineages here on the planet, from Egypt to ancient Sumeria to the Native Americans, okay? I feel it. The Akashic Records hold an account of your soul's journey forward and backward through time. And all of that intelligence and wisdom is designed to be available to help you right now in the now moments. To help you understand the traumas that you and your family have experienced in this lifetime, what your soul needs to learn and grow so that you can fully move on and heal. That information and intelligence is available to you 24/7 in addition to what decision is the best for me moving forward. And here's the other cool thing is that when we truly initiate into the realm of the Akash, okay, you turn on your DNA so that you have access, you're never cut off from this intelligence. Your mind begins to communicate and converse with you always through the space of your Akashic Records. And it is absolutely phenomenal. All right. So again, guys, I'm bringing back my masterclass. So what do I mean when I'm saying I'm bringing back the masterclass? For the past 2 years, anybody who's wanted to train in the space of their Akashic Records has had to do it through a self-study process. This is a rare opportunity, a gateway for those of you who want to walk the path of full remembrance. You want to do it with a tribe of other devoted students who are ready to learn, step into their power. I don't let you off easy in my class. I want to make sure that your skills are operating at a level of mastery, and we get to do that together and have a massive amount of fun. So in addition to all of the content of the self-study training, when you enroll in masterclass, you will get private, intimate circles with me and the other students, where you will have not only direct feedback from me, but also quantum transmissions coming in from the Akashic Records. All right. So if this is something that you would like to interview for, because spaces are very limited, here is the link for the initiation interview. Put that there on the screen for you guys. All right. So come hop on my calendar, and I look forward to having a deeper conversation with y'all. All right. So remember, if you do have a long list of questions, you can get all of them answered. All right. Let's say I did want to go back to your question, though, and give you guys some high level insight on what to do. Okay. So first of all, everybody can tap into your own Akashic Records. We do this through frequency. We become a frequency match. All right. So golden ratio and anybody else who wants to know how to tap into your Akashic Records, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to keep this information from anybody. Okay. It's only if you want to come train privately with me that you've got to go through the interview process. Otherwise, allow me to begin helping you remember right now in these moments, because a lot of you are already using the Akashic Records anyway. Okay. So in order to access our Akashic Records, we've got to become a frequency match. That means we want to become a match to unconditional love and zero judgment to the best of our ability. It's not as hard as you might think. Take a couple deep breaths, relax your body. Okay, you got to be in a state of softness, receptiveness, and you've got to be willing to, you got to have courage to see the truth. Because everything that we are experiencing, we've created and is designed for our soul's highest growth. And the guides are going to tell you all that once you start asking questions. And if you get all pissy thinking and insisting that it's somebody else's fault, this isn't going to work for you. That's not being in a frequency of unconditional love and zero judgment. Get it? All right. So a couple breaths with the intention to connect, or to be in a frequency of unconditional love and zero judgment. Relax your body. Okay. I use the crystalline tube of light as the connection point. So crystalline tube of light runs up and down your spine. You all got one. You just imagine with your imagination, with your intention, anchoring it into the core of Mother Earth and outside of this time-space continuum into the Akash or the ether, the all that is, and activate that flow of energy. So as that flow of energy begins to move through your body, it's going to change the nature of your thoughts, your emotions, the feedback loops, how you communicate with yourself in your head. So all of these things, your thoughts, how you see things, how you have this communication in your head, what's going on inside of your imagination and how the Akashic Records begins to communicate with you is through your imagination or your psychic senses. So you're going to start noticing stuff come into your mind based on the questions you ask. The records work by invitation only. There's the word. There we go. Invitation only, which doesn't mean only certain ones of you are invited. Technically, the records are open to every single person. Now, if the records are showing up in your path right now, that's definitely for a reason. It's your soul reminding you, hey, this will help you. It doesn't have to be so hard. This is me, your higher self, yelling down to you. You got it. You're tracking. But you got to know how this space works in order to maneuver in there. So invitation only means this place works like a magic 8-ball. You got to ask questions. You don't want to ask yes or no questions. Don't ask questions like you ask your magic 8-ball. Ask open-ended questions. Go back and read through the comments here for examples of questions. And then you want to notice, you want to pay attention to what comes into your mind, into your field. So for those of you who, again, want help and support, getting those messages and having those messages be very clear, this one is for you. Okay. This is the intuitive development training. It will teach you how to get razor sharp intuition, razor sharp psychic senses in 15 seconds a day. Okay. I know y'all got 15 seconds a day to train. Okay. All right. Let's see. What time is it? 52. Let's get one more question in here. Let me know if y'all having fun today. Send some love, likes, hearts across the screen if you are. Okay. Good. You guys can hear the birds. They're coming in. Terry. Okay. Always love talking about soul purpose. All right, Terry, let me tap in and see what the guides have to say for you. First thing, anybody who is looking for their soul purpose, remember how we talked about nuance of distinction? Purpose and mission, I define a little bit different. There's some nuance of distinction in there for me. And I think for all of us, our purpose is to be happy, to experience ourselves as the creator being, to feel ourselves fully empowered, to experience ourselves as unique reflections of the God personality, and learn to see, to acknowledge, not just observe, but to acknowledge that in others. the soul's purpose the soul's purpose on this planet specifically. Okay. Versus soul's purpose out in the cosmos is just to expand and experience light. It's not nearly as specific. Do we see how everybody see how it's more specific and how cool it gets to be here? And that'll be one beautiful shift to invite for all of us now, is to return to a place of loving our lives, of loving being here. It can be challenging to watch the news and look at the outside world and say, I love being here right now. So if you want to invite that remembrance of your soul, the part of you that can see beyond the illusion and has the ability to fall in love with this magnificent experience, you can type yes if you want to re-engage with that part of your soul. And the guides are saying, can you tune into the frequency of yes, of yes, of yes? Oops, I'm leaning into my mic a little much. Of that soul, yes. Our soul incarnated here, we said yes to this incarnation. We said yes to this mission. We said yes to this life. And a lot of us are tired right now and saying, not only no, but capital no, followed by no hashtag AF. So you want to get back to that yes energy, that expansive excitement. Your soul came here to experience itself energy. You can type in yes right now. That yes that you type will align you to the frequency of yes in your life. And the energy of yes is expansion. That's the nature of the soul. It's the nature of the soul through the galactic perspective, the cosmic perspective. But now we're going to vector down into earth life. So when your soul comes into carnation here on the earth plane, a physical plane, you get to experience that expansion in the form of creating. What do you want to create? You get to create your experience here on the planet, your physical experience. To experience yourself as creator in physical form. That's so cool. Reclaim that. Reclaim it now. Okay. Okay, our mission now. The mission, slight nuance of a difference. The mission is how we embody or how we animate our unique essence, our unique personalities, our unique full self-embodiment. How do you want to let your freak flag fly? That's the mission. I think I was double checking that. I'm like, that actually might fully embody the whole mission, right? How do you want to let your freak flag fly? Because we actually, and again, we self-initiate into that. As ultimate creators, we get to create what that looks like. And the essence of each one of us exists within whatever it is that we create. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if I create a book or a course or a new play, a new stage play. It all has the essence of me. I just have to pick which one makes me the most joyful. Right? Good stuff. Let me know if this is making sense. My third eye is blinking like crazy. All right. This has been a powerful time together. Man, we spent almost the whole hour together. All right. One more reminder, the masterclass, we're getting started in just a couple of weeks. So if you feel like you are here to remember your soul's ancient truth, that you are here to up-level not only your experience on the planet, but your families, and you want to give back to the planet, all of this intelligence is encoded inside of you, and you are your remembrance, your journey in to this self-discovery and who you become on the other side of this. This is your journey of remembering and waking up to the rainbow warrior, activating all that DNA within yourself, all of that knowing and remembrance. All right. So for those of you who would like to hop on my schedule for that interview, I look forward to seeing you, and join me back here again next week. Oh yeah, if this has served you, share this out. Okay, that's always my humble request as we wrap up our sacred time here together, because the more and more of us that remember and step into our power, the easier this bringing about of the new earth becomes, and the more fun it becomes as well. All right, I'll see you guys back here to train a little bit more next week.
The Akashic Records hold all information, past, present, and future, and are available to assist you now.
Do you seek answers within yourself but don't know if you can trust your intuition? Do you desire positive change in life but feel unsupported by others? Do you suffer from failure to execute but have hit your point of enough? Not only have I been there, but I have found my way out, and so can you. The Akashic Records are your key to understanding any area of stagnation and hold solutions to your greatest challenges. My mission is to teach you everything I know about the Akashic Records, how to use them with mastery, while always staying in beginner's mind, which will keep you humble yet powerful. It's all within you. Come, let me show you.
What have I gained from the Akashic Records? Reading the Akashic Records has strengthened and deepened my intuition, and at the same time allowed me to build a deeper connection with the inner wisdom of my gut and my heart in order to be able to support and challenge the decisions that I've made in my head.
Learning to read the Akashic Records helped me to cultivate the courage and the knowledge to start a new business. It helped guidance become clearer. It helped me become more confident for my entire life moving forward.